Good day. Today I'm going to discuss to you the maternal changes during pregnancy. So I have the objectives of my topic. First is to describe the sources and functions of hormones secreted during pregnancy, and then I will be discussing the hormonal, anatomical, and physiological changes in the mother during pregnancy. First is the hormones of pregnancy. During the first 3 to 4 months of pregnancy, the corpus luteum in the ovary continues to secrete progesterone and estrogen, which maintains the lining of the uterus during pregnancy and prepares the mammary glands to secrete milk. The amounts secreted by the corpus luteum are slightly more than those produced after ovulation in normal menstrual cycle. So from the 3rd month through the remaining of the pregnancy, the placenta itself provides the highest levels of progesterone and estrogens that required by the fetus. And within the placenta, there is a chorion. This chorion secretes human chorionic gonadotropin or HCG into the blood, and this HCG stimulates the corpus luteum to continue production of progesterone and estrogens. These activities required to prevent menstruation and the continued attachment of the embryo and fetus to the lining of the uterus. As you can see in the pictures, the peak secretion of HCG occurs at about the 9th week of pregnancy, and then during 4th and 5th months, the HCG levels decrease sharply and then levels off until birth. And by the 8th day after fertilization, HCG can be detected in the blood and urine of pregnant women. And then within the placenta, the chorions begins to secrete estrogens after the first 3 to 4 weeks of pregnancy and progesterone by the 6th week. By the 4th month, when the placenta is fully established, the secretion of HCG is greatly reduced and the secretion of the corpus luteum are no longer essential. So the hormone chorion secreted is in increased quantities until the time of birth. And then the relaxin hormones. These hormones produced first by the corpus luteum of the ovary and later by the placenta. Relaxin increased the flexibility of the pubic symphysis and the ligaments of sacroiliac and sacrococcygeal joints and helps dilate the uterine cervix during labor. Both of these actions is delivery of the baby. And the 3rd hormone produced by the chorion of the placenta is the human chorionic somatic-somatomatotropin, also known as human placental lactogen. The rate of secretion of HCS increased in proportion to placenta mass, reaching maximum levels after 32 weeks and remaining relatively constant after that. It is thought to help prepare the mammary glands for lactation, enhance maternal growth by increasing protein synthesis, and regulate certain aspects of metabolism in both mother and fetus. For example, HCS decreases the use of glucose by the mother and promotes the release of fatty acids from her adipose tissues, making more glucose available to the fetus. Then the hormone most recently found to be produced by the placenta is corticotropin, which in non-pregnant people is secreted only by neurosecretory cells in the hypothalamus. And corticotropin, now thought to be part of the clock, establish the timing of birth secretions of CRH by the placenta begins at about 12 weeks and increase enormously toward the end of pregnancy. And women have a higher levels of corticotropin early in pregnancy are more likely to deliver prematurely. Those who have low levels are more likely to deliver after their due date. And corticotropin from the placenta has a second important effect. First, it increases secretion of cortisol, which is needed for maturation of the fetal lungs and the production of surfactant. Then, the changes during pregnancy. Near the end of 3rd month of pregnancy, the uterus occupies most of the pelvic cavity. As the fetus continues to grow, the uterus extends higher and higher into the abdominal cavity. Toward the end of full-term pregnancy, the uterus fills nearly the inter-abdominal cavity. reaching above the costal margin nearly the xiphoid process of the sternum. The picture shows it pushes the maternal intestines, livers, and stomach superiorly, elevates the diaphragm, and widens the thoracic cavity. Pressure on the stomach may force the stomach contents superiorly into the esophagus, and resulting in the heartburn. Then the pelvic cavity compressions of ureters and urinary bladder occurs. And pregnancy-induced physiological changes also occurs, including weight gain due to the fetus amniotic fluid, the placenta uterine enlargement, and increased total body water, increased storage of proteins, triglycerides, and minerals, marked breast enlargement in preparation for lactation, and lower back pain due to the lordosis hollow block. Several changes occurs in maternal cardiovascular system. Stroke volume increased by about 30% and cardiac output arises by 20 to 30% due to increased maternal blood flow from the placenta and increased metabolism, and heart rate increases 10 to 15% and blood volume increases 30 to 50% mostly during the second half of pregnancy. And these increases are necessary to meet the additional demands of the fetus for nutrients and oxygen. When a pregnant woman is lying on her back, the enlarged uterus may compress the aorta, resulting in diminishing blood flow to the uterus. And compressions of the inferior vena cava also decreases venous return, which leads to edema in the lower limbs and may produce varicose veins. Compressions of renal artery can lead also to renal hypertension. And respiratory function is also altered during pregnancy to meet the added oxygen demands of the fetus. The tidal volume can increase by 30 to 40%. Expiratory reserve volume can reduce by up to 40%. And function reducible capacity can decline by up to 25% minute ventilation, the total volume of air inhale and exhale each minute, and can increase by up to 40%. Airway resistance in the bronchi tree can decline by 30 to 40%, and the total body oxygen consumption can increase by about 10 to 20%. And dyspnea or difficulty in breathing occurs. The digestive system also undergo changes in pregnant women. Experience an increase in appetite due to the additional nutritional demands of the fetus. A general decrease in GI tract motility can cause constipation, delay gastric emptying time, and produce nausea, vomiting, and heartburn. Pressure on the urinary bladder by the enlarging uterus can produce urinary symptoms such as increased frequency and urgency of urination and stress incontinence, and increase in renal plasma flow up to 35%, and increase in glomerular filtration rate up to 40%, and increase the renal filtering capacity, which allows faster elimination of extra waste products by the fetus. And changes in the skin during pregnancy are more apparent in some women than in others. Some women experience increased pigmentation around the eyes and cheekbones in mask-like pattern, plasma, in the areola of the breast, and in the linea alba of the lower abdomen or linea negra. Stray stretch marks over the abdomen can occur as the uterus enlarges and hair loss increase. Then lastly, changes in the reproductive system includes edema and increased vascularity of the vulva and increased pliability and vascularity of vagina. The uterus increased from its non-pregnant mass of 60 to 80 gram to 900 to 1,000 gram at term because of hyperplasia of muscle fibers in the myometrium in early pregnancy and hypertrophy of muscle fibers during the second and third trimester. And about 10 to 15% of all pregnant women in the United States experience pregnancy-induced hypertension or PIH, an elevated blood pressure that is associated with pregnancy. The major cause is preeclampsia, an abnormal condition of pregnancy characterized by a sudden hypertension, large amounts of protein in the urine, and generalized edema that typically appears after the 20th week of pregnancy. Other signs and symptoms are generalized edema, blurred visions, and headaches. Preeclampsia might be related to autoimmune or allergic reaction resulting from the presence of a fetus. Treatment involves bed rest and various drugs. When the condition is also associated with convulsions and coma, it is termed eclampsia.